Welcome back. Here we are again at the Visionnaire Gallery in Milan for a second exclusive episode of the Visionnaire live show. Yesterday we gave you a taste of this new format for the brands to be closer with all the Visionnaire lovers. Come on, let's see the surprises reserved for you today. Welcome back at the Visionnaire live show. That is an opportunity to discover the brand new 2020 collection, following the background and the people who have contributed to its creation. But the live show is much more than this. It is an opportunity for comparison and dialogue with those who guide the brands day after day, and with those who over time have become passionate about this work. So let's keep debriefing this sparkling atmosphere in an environment where business and design culture meet. Let's take a place in this scenic setting. It's always the Visionnaire Design Gallery, the brand flagship store in the heart of Milan, that has been temporarily used as a broadcasting studio. A really rich schedule awaits us today. So it's time to move on, meet our guest. So we welcome on stage Eleanor Cavalli, our director of the brands.
Hello, good morning.
And Leo Cavalli, CEO of the company.
Ciao Paolo, good morning to you.
Yesterday it was an incredible adventure, discovering art, design and the uniqueness that the first launch of the collection by Draga and Aure. We tried to understand together what the meta luxury mean, a concept that represents the philosophy of the brands and its values. To do so, we introduced some of the new products in 2020 collection called Beauty. In this phase, it is essential for Visionnaire to involve the authors, always trying to find personalities with almost Renaissance attitude for the method and commitment applied in the manufacturing of its products. An ecosystem of design that is created around the brand. Let's launch the introduction video of this unmissable episode. it is clear that Visionnaire also had to deal with a very topical issue related to sustainable choices. It may seem unusual to apply this idea to a luxury brand, but Eleanor, can you explain us how is it possible and how you are putting into the practice?
For us, it was a necessary awareness because it was closely linked to the values of our DNA, responsibility, work ethic, and Made in Italy vocation. When we presented the Decalogue art book last year, a manifesto of intent of our brand, the second value, nature, was intended to make explicit this sustainable approach in the design behavior. From the selection of the materials to the last of the processes in the manufacturing cycles, this approach is a precise ethic commitment.
If I remember, all started with greenery, right?
Yes, with the Greenery collection in 2017, we have started productions that have the lowest possible environmental impact. And in the last 2 years, we gave our customers the opportunity to choose among many products in the catalog made with alternative processes to those normally used. I made some examples: springing system that use jute instead of elastic belts, the replacement of feathers with materials such as cotton and wool, or for upholstery, the use of natural fibers and leathers made with vegetable dyes.
So I feel there is a real intention to raise awareness of this issue through the products.
Yes, but Paolo, you know, the perspective is much wider. It covers the entire supply chain. Starting with some of the certification that we obtain, like the FFC or the PEFC, the Program for Endorsement of Forest Certifications, to ensure that the wood that we use come from legal cuts, first of all, and certified supply chains. But it also involved to the entire production chain, optimized internally and externally through our network of craftsmen. So it has maximum yield to the shortest possible time without overproduction and creation of waste that would impact to the environment. And finally, it also concerns the part of design, innovation and experimentation.
Yes, but more specifically?
For example, we have introduced high-performance fabrics. For example, the Iris fabrics, it's an example. It's a new textile product for outdoor and indoor, made of polyester threads, obtained from the reuse of plastic bottles dispersed in the environment, like in the ocean. And we all know what kind of problem is the plastic in the ocean. Being 100% recycled and 100% recyclable, and guarantees a very important reduction of the emission of the CO2 and the reduction of water waste for an energy saving more than 60% compared to the normal production process. Then we have another fabric like the Assam, which is obtained through the combination of synthetic and natural fibers, and also show cutting-edge performance from the possibility of lowering body heat and therefore decreasing, think about it, sweating and the heart rate of a seated person, to the absorption of humidity in the environment, reducing energy consumption due to the use of artificial air condition. This material is processed without chemicals toxic to health, for example. Finally, again, on the experimentation front, for some products, we are using Antolini's revolutionary A0 care process, which guarantees the permanent protection of marble, and you know how is the problem of spots into the marble, and does not produce any emission into the atmosphere, nor does it generate processing waste.
So, how much is the designer, the creative side of the project, involved in this process of sustainable experimenting?
Designers have an essential role. We intend to focus on an increasing involvement of designers in the production process of their products, so that they can collaborate with more hands, with an exchange of skills and knowledge. That's why we started to consider our designers as homines fabri.
We are now behind the border of philosophy.
Oh yes, my classic study. So it is a concept that we borrowed from Renaissance thought that can be summarized in the saying, Homo faber ipsius fortune, meaning that the active participation of the man in his destiny and more generally the imprinting of the cultural phase that was taking place after the Middle Ages. In the same way, we would like to design talents who become part of Visionnaire to have the same perception, to be able to contribute and be an active part of a bigger project.
After this brief excursus to drove us deeper and deeper into the visionary thinking of the brands, the time has come to discover one of the Renaissance designers who has been working alongside Visionnaire for some time and who is also the protagonist of this 2020 collection, Beauty. Here with us, Mauro Lipparini, but let's see a short movie introduction.
Hello everyone, I'm Mauro Lipparini. Welcome to my studio in Florence. Today we are here to talk about my collaboration with Visionnaire. One of the most important parts of my studio are the plants. They are a focus point throughout my studio's interiors. They live with my team, creating not just clean and pure air, but a comfortable atmosphere for working harmoniously together with humans. Unfortunately, COVID-19 has become such a big problem. We also have to follow security measures, and currently my team is working in remote. My studio reflecting my personality, the environment become from my background, international travel and work experience in Middle East, Asia, especially in Japan and in China. 4 different elements reflecting me. The solid graphic linear wall, the glass wall and skylights, the patio, plus a lot of plant inside the space. My vision to Visionnaire is clear. Less shock and more chic. In a beautiful design and extremely balanced colors and materials that are really protagonists in the ambient and Visionnaire philosophy. When I think about the project, the chemistry came from the balance. Solid and empty volume, transparency, material, texture, colors, and shadow and lights in 4 different area projects: architecture, interior design, industrial design, and visual design. The capsule is a beautiful concept for Visionnaire and inspired me the Africa, deep Africa. Archaic line, curving tattoo, energetic material in a chic feeling result, extremely directly lined, design, power, and passionable. The capsule collection that I created this year for Visionnaire was inspired by sub-Saharan Africa ethnicity and world. Archaic lines traced from tribal scarification, energetic material, exotic wood species, deep tone color schemes, and powerful passionate sense of design. I choose to create an entire family of products with a capsule collection for Visionnaire. Boiserie and wall system, an upholstered sofa, an armchair, furniture for both living and bedroom area, expressing a continuous stylistic dialogue among each member of the collection. The aesthetic language of the entire collection is neither repetitive nor redundant. I designed something unique for each piece. What unites all is this distinctive contemporary interpretation of an Africa aesthetic. I made a promise with myself to give a new sense to the boiserie. So, what I designed for Visionnaire is different. It's a not flat, but three-dimensional, allowing for the application of shelving, container, and integrated lighting. The shelving is born from the boiserie convex and concave panel. Is if carved from wood, while the original inspiration of the tribal tattoo are magnified graphically and form the design uniqueness. The Montparnasse sofa is characterized by sober, elegant, yet purely soft form and simplified aesthetic codes. The sophisticated application of each component creates a pleasant interplay between its solid and empty volumes. The backrest from horizontal position can be overturned to become headrest while freeing up the lumbar support, so that the arm can rest in an extraordinarily comfortable position. We started our collaboration several years ago, and with the owner we have a long-standing relationship. Posso dire in sintesi che questa collaborazione è all'insegna di una eleganza e di un eclettismo di design straordinariamente sofisticato e chic.
Welcome, Mauro.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
It's a great pleasure to have
Hello,
you
Mauro.
here.
Hello, Eleanor. Thank you so much. Thank you.
So, Mauro, it's a pleasure for all of us to have you here with us today. How did you interpret the beauty concept in the product designer for the new collection?
Interpreting beauty for Visionnaire is a pleasure and professional obligation. Beauty can be decadent, it can also be shining, exuberant, harmonious. I don't care for decadent, I don't care for makeup, no super decoration, no bling bling. I identify with the Renaissance value of the city of Florence where my studio was born. I love to investigate it and discover just like the Renaissance man. All the art came together when thinking about design, different culture and custom merge contribution to the final project. Harmonizing all of this is a fantastic alchemist process. It allows you reach the pinnacle of the final creative outcome. My vision of beauty is a positive, architectural, natural one, no sugar-coated beauty. My new collection interprets the beauty theme through curved, feminine, gentle, and luminous shape. And in the same time, strong, powerful, masculine, and muscular line accent with a chiaroscuro. I researched the diversity of material and finishing in order to create a surprising, contrasting texture. My Visionnaire capsule is a sort of aphorism, an ode to pure, essential elegance.
One of the themes of the episode concerns sustainability in luxury. In a view of your great experience in product design, interior, and architecture, what does this concept mean to you?
Elegant and luxury follow this evolution and also take into account constructive wisdom, craftsmanship, the high quality and exciting attention to material and detail, the production requirement in terms of its original idea, design, and ability to express itself. Aesthetic sustainability also means sustaining the wisdom of territory and keeping local manufacturing alive. Sustainability is also ethical luxury, which for me translates into less shock, more chic, real surprise and emotion.
I would like to say that we are at the beginning of the episode, and we have already touched on some very important topics thanks for your contribution. We go down to the core of this episode. Let us have a direct feel of the new products designed by Mauro Lipparini. I will start from the foyer, the entrance of this magnificent area of the design gallery of Visionnaire. Roll the tape.
Here we are in the foyer of the showroom, and I'm pleased to introduce you the wall unit Osborne, seductive with concave and convex shapes. Please, Leo, if you want to add.
Mauro, what I see here is one of my favorite pieces of the collection. It's a very different wall unit, because what we are used to see normally is just a fixed decoration, but here I see a lot of movements, a lot of curves, profiles in metal, light system. So please explain us a little bit more about this wall unit.
Leo, honestly, I cannot do the simple wall system, simple boiserie for Visionnaire. I like to experiment from my background, from my story, like experience. It's concentrated about my passion. And at the same time become like a paradigm for the boiserie, because this is totally new. Not any other boiserie in the world existing like that. Can you imagine that the whole panel become also extending with a perfect shelf, and also extending in a three-dimensional area. It's not just flat, and also curve and convex, concave, and at the same time linear, graphic, line, absolutely gorgeous. Believe me, it's fantastic.
I think the link with the African culture is interesting, also in the choice of the wood, which is the eucalypto frisé, which has this very 3D material texture. So I think it's a kind of an inspiration for you, right?
And about Africa, we see here also an artwork by Michele Astolfi, which is representing an African typical animal, not the grue coronata, with a nice mixture of Swarovski and decorative glasses. But I see a new version of a product from last year.
I will try. Oh, this is the beautiful Camden, and I'm very pleased to refresh it with this natural fiber raffia. What do you think, Mauro, about
It's
it?
a really nice, perfect skin, become probably, from my opinion, from African sense. That's why there is a perfect connection also after 1 year. It's absolutely gorgeous. I like it.
Absolutely coherent with the new program.
Right.
Bene, allora I would ask Alice to explain us a bit more with a technical contribution video. So please, Alice, talk us in more in detail about this wall unit.
Osborne is an evolution of the boiserie, which is no longer a decoration to enrich the wall, but becomes a real wall system with various functions. It plays with concave and convex curves, which create the possibility for a series of shelves, and of course, where we want them to be. These shelves have a metallic element on the front and a LED light that enhances them in the lower part. LED lights can also be placed in the intersection of the game of curvatures. Even the side in its movement has a metal part that follows the curves of the wood. It is also possible to insert retractable elements that open where objects hidden from the view can be stored. It is a totally custom object that is sold and designed by Meter according to the customer's needs. The standard height is 260 centimeters.
I find it incredible how Osborne is both an architectural and interior elements. I believe that even on the subject of upholstery this year, you have been no less. I've glimpsed some new items behind here. Eleanor, can you introduce us in the new living proposal?
Good day, Paolo. Here we are in one of the most sophisticated part of our home, the Visionnaire home. This is the Montparnasse sofa system, the beautiful Dorinda low unit, and the armchair Imagine. Please, Leo, if you have any
What to say? I think here we are in the master room, no? The masterpiece of your capsule collection for Visionnaire. What to say about the sofa? It is just gorgeous. And I discover a kind of double system, a double deep comfort, because very easily you can
Yes,
take
Leo.
the back rest up, and you have a comfort which is incredible, and not only a comfort but a new way of sitting, because you can adjust your arms like this, and it's phenomenal.
It's very harmonious ergonomic approach with the body and the sofa. It's very unique in this case.
It's true. I never tried a comfort like this, and this part also is so soft. It's so soft.
Right. It's a lumbar support.
It's a lumbar support, but it doesn't hurt your back.
It's true.
It's just supporting. And the position, I mean, watching TV has never been so comfortable, huh? Really, huh? Really. And I also seen a drawing from you with the element without the back, and with a longer arm, so a kind of dormeuse. Huh?
Yes, Leo, because also the Montparnasse become from some linear point about Osborne. That's why if you see there are a lot beautiful body horizontal. And this is the same point, but there are also some other detail that become super elegant sofa.
I saw some belts here
right.
in the structure. It's the sofa seems like suspended in this.
It's not so
belt
heavy.
frame.
It's very linear. It's international live design.
Very contemporary.
Right.
And very light, comfort. There is, I think it's interesting because there is this dialogue between emptiness and fullness. So volumes, which guarantees the comfort, the ergonomic comfort, and then the metal structure, which is the more
Yes, it's true, because there are 2 points.
Cold part, the masculine part.
That already Leo discovered. That is a part that is a dialogal part, and also relaxed time.
Exactly.
This is the fabulous point about.
And I
about
see
those.
one version in fabric, which seems
I
to
will
be
fit it.
more democratic. More
a little
democratic.
bit more democratic, right?
bit
It's
more
true.
democratic,
That,
if
me
we
too,
can
I like
say.
to stay together here, and also the arm is very soft, but but this is very easy to move.
Yes, it's fantastic. So you.
Absolutely relaxed. And conversation, very easy
for
to come
conversation,
together.
for laying, for sleeping, for working.
Very good.
It's
So,
amazing.
I see also another piece from the collection, the Dorinda, and I will ask Alice to give us, with her contribution, an explanation going more in deep in this beautiful, beautiful, congratulations again, Mauro, Montparnasse room. Please,
Thank you,
Alice.
The Montparnasse is a sofa that concentrates all its enhancement on comfort and elegance. The system is composed as it follows: a wooden base surrounded by a metal structure. These straps are placed at about 8 centimeters from each other and have specific reinforced seams on the sides to give an idea of saddlery, which determine a certain type of design without being structural. The feet are made by vertical metal plates that match with the metal of the armrest support. The armrest is inserted in the metal L-shaped element for about half of its width. So when you lean on it, you have the feeling of a sense of support and not the void. A further distinctive element is definitely the back, which is divided in 2 elements. One is this element of the back, which is at a certain point internally divided diagonally upwards to allow the part of the lumbar support to be completely soft. When the second upper element is raised, obviously this part is more advanced, and for this reason it must be extremely soft so as not to resist while seated, in order to guarantee maximum comfort. The second upper part of the back, as I was saying, rises thanks to a masterpiece technology of movement. It has a very light resistance, less than 1 kilo, and any man, woman, or child can lift it without any kind of effort. Montparnasse exists in a version with 2 armrests, with 1 armrest, and without backrests, also to give the chance to create a bigger sofa or let's say a kind of sectional. Imagine it has a wooden structure where in the front a groove with a metal element embellishes the leg which ends in a metal foot. On the seat there are these seams that reflect the design of the year. The seat is tilted downwards on the inside and creates an angle with the backrest to give ergonomics to the armchair, entirely dedicated to relaxation. The extremely thin armrest is created by a metal blade, blended and then covered in leather. Dorinda is part of a series of 3 pieces of furniture designed by Mauro Lipparini. This is dedicated to the living area and has a height of 70 centimeters and a length of 240 centimeters, with a wall arrangement thanks to this wooden back. It consists of a wooden base and top, in this case in veneer essence, that can be lacquered in raw as well, with feet as in the Montparnasse sofa, consisting of vertical metal plates, and 2 compartments with curved glass doors that are curved also in the central part of the cabinet. All spaces are equipped with LED lighting to embellish the objects placed on display inside.
After having presented Osborne, Montparnasse, Imagine and Dorinda cabinet, I think it's time to introduce the third setting.
Here we are in this heart of the room, the dining room, the most sculptural room. And so we can complete the low unit family with Desmond and Donegal.
Right.
Mauro, do you want to introduce you?
It's true. One of the most important piece of furniture, loose furniture in this case, for this collection, is become from that. This is the perfectly pillar, strong body, very powerful, and suspending like a bird, a wonderful double body in glass,
Mauro,
totally transparent.
This
It's
is an
like a
incredible.
jewel.
Right.
What do you think?
Right.
It's
Yes,
a
this,
jewel.
this is an incredible piece because we have the central pillar, which is a container in wood with all these metal profiles and the shelves in glass inside. But also we have this element suspended in glass with the metal profile, which is double face.
Exactly.
So you can use it in both sides, and it is perfect as a room divider, right?
That's why we can call it the centerpieces, because divide, for
centerpieces.
example, dining area, a living area, but not divided, just combine together. We respect in the same time what they have to use, what we
Yes.
can use.
And it is a 3 meter and 20 centimeter element, but even though it is quite a big piece, it seems very light. And I would like to make a test because I saw it in the dark and it's spectacular. I asked the production to close the light and look how it
Wow.
is beautiful. Imagine in the house when you walk through during the night in your house and you have this
Become like a ghost, but at the same time architectural and decorative lights on the house.
It is
Yeah, it's
fantastic. I
incredible.
like it very much. Okay, so let's take a look to the higher cabinet, which is the declination of the same
The
element,
Donegal, yeah.
but totally in wood.
Donegal continuing the shape of the masculine feeling, but at the same time you feel this kind of muscular shape and shadow, but inside there is a luminar feeling, a metal finishing, absolutely unique in a sense.
I think you can feel with this low unit also the same concept that we saw in the Boiserie Osborne. So this concave and
Right.
convex shapes that in a very harmoniously way they dialogue
Right,
each other.
right.
Take
Exactly.
a look how it's open the door. So it's an automatic system that allows you to open just with a click.
Yes.
And
the light is in the LED
Exactly.
system.
there is the
Exactly.
LED system inside, and the glass shelves, the metal profile. It's really a spectacular piece, really.
It's exactly container. We need this kind of container at home, but at the same time, in a sculpture,
absolutely.
we can mix together sculpture and container.
With this glamorous touch of the color.
Yeah, this
Right.
lacquering color is absolutely gorgeous, and the combination with the light gold is superb. So I would like Alice to go in deep and explain us some technical details about these two marvelous elements. Bravo, Mauro.
Right.
Donegal is in some way the brother of the Dorinda cabinet, but it is conceived as a storage unit for a dining area. Unlike Dorinda, it is completely closed and lacquered, but as Dorinda, without edges. The shiny lacquered finish enhances the shapes and streamlines the volume. Internally allows a high containing capacity and is also available with internal LED lighting. Desmond is a center room showcase that separates the area of an open space. It is composed of a longitudinal volume of glass that intersects with a wooden monolith with curved doors. It is possible to admire the objects that are displayed inside thanks to a tangent LED lighting on the entire perimeter of the base of the cabinet, as this object is a true display case and an architectural element for dividing function. Being a centerpiece is completely double-sided, so it can be opened in all its parts from both sides. Scenic and functional, surrounded by metal elements that wrap and enhance the glass volumes.
The two cabinets dialogue perfectly with the novelty by Draga and Aurel. But so, let's go to the stage across the room.
Here we are in the most intimate part of the house, the bedroom, the Bastian bedroom, which is an iconic piece that has received a beautiful tribute, an evolution of the family, the sofa
Right.
family, the bedroom. We are full of nature. We have the orchids carpet, we have beautiful birds flying like the fenicottero in volo and the fenicottero d'arc. And so in this magnificent natural environmental, what do you think, Mauro?
It's a natural environment, but at the same time, absolutely elegant.
We have
Quite
also an
elegant.
orchid on the carpet.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yes, it's true. But what I like to explain is the story continuing with Bastian from sofa to the bed. Absolutely beautiful sense and shape harmonious. You feel like this body is a very sculpture, like Michelangelo feeling. It's a part of the body.
A little bit muscular.
Muscular, a little bit muscular, and we can feel also vein,
Yeah.
like a stitching, and describe again the section of the shape. This is a very geometric point.
You know, Mauro, I think that one of the reasons why the Bastian sofa, the Bastian living room, and also, I hope, the new entry, the Bastian bedroom, had so much success, because the Bastian is one of the top sellers living room for Visionnaire, is that richness of details in the purity of a very linear and severe line. So here I think that we touch really the chords of the market, with this line. So congratulations again, and we were obliged, to give a declination in the bedroom of such a successful line in the living room, because, as you know, Visionnaire always try to give a proposition of declination of the same family of products in different in different rooms of the house. And also here we have a new entry for the King Cross family, which has been presented last year. In particular, in the body of the bar stand of last year, we create this nice makeup unit. the makeup unit, which with some simple movements become the secret of the jewels of Madame. So congratulations again, and I ask Alice to give us some more details about these pieces.
Yes.
Please, Alice.
Thank you so
This
much.
bed was created in continuity with the Bastian elements of the living room, bestsellers among the collection of the past years, and which gives the possibility of creating new parallels between the living area and the bedroom. In the Bastian bed, we have taken up the simplicity of the line, the softness of the backs, and the metal signs that are normally on the rear backs and armrests of the Bastian sofa. These seams have been placed in the bed frame and find continuity in the headboard, becoming, with the friezes, the identifying elements of this bed, which makes simplicity its main feature. At the feet of the bed, you can see the Bastian chaise longue, that is a new element that can be matched to the bed or with the sofa and the sectional sofa as well.
Very interesting presentation from Mauro, Eleanor, and Leo. It was a tour through a complete housing proposal, starting from the entrance with the Osborne boiserie, the living area with Montparnasse sofa, the dining area enriched by Donegal and Desmond cabinets, up to the night area with Bastian bed. So Mauro, thank you so much for staying with us today, and I wish you a success for this new collection of Visionnaire.
Thank you to you, Paolo. Thank you to you, Eleonora. Thank you to you, Leo,
Mauro,
for sharing with me this year, a fantastic project, fantastic experience for such beautiful product that we did. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mauro.
Thank you very
It
much.
was an honor to have you with us today, and in honor and in tribute of your fantastic armchair Imagine, I would like Fabio Curto to launch this unforgettable song, Imagine, from Fabio Curto.
Wow.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us, above us on the sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. No religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. Yeah. You might say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one. Imagine all possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of
It's bravo Fabio, eh?
More than bravo. And he is also the winner of a very famous program in Italy called The Voice. He was the winner
really?
in 2015 or 16, I think.
Very good talent. So here comes another challenge. The name of the episode next to the ecosystem of design could very well be A Day with Architects, because our second guest of today is another well-known representative of the category. Protagonist of national and international scene, ranging from macro architecture to small scale of product design. Let me introduce you the architect Marco Piva with this clip.
Hello, this is Marco Piva. I'm an architect and designer from Milano, Italy. We have the pleasure to work with Visionnaire to develop new collections for this very famous brand, active in the luxury lifestyle for all over the world. Thinking of family seats, I'm just really attracted by the idea of super comfort with a very elegant shape. This is a combination of a rigid shell outside and a soft body inside. And this could be a very refined kind of attention. And that could be a starting point for a new family that I think could be very successful. I'm thinking about the tables, so I'm concerned about a family, to create a family. And I would like to work on geometry, creating some structure that could relate to architecture, so something like let's say, pillars that are holding the shape and the load of sort of glass surface. And this could be, very hard material. It could be marble. So it could be a combination of marble and glass. I think it's going to be very elegant and simple and efficient, different height and different location. That's good. Here we are with the first selection of materials that we want to use to create the new collection. So we have the soft materials for armchairs and sofas, and here we have the hard materials for our small architecture related to the low table collection. So here now the point is to combine the materials, the texture, the colors, to achieve the best combination, to harmonize the shapes and the skins, and at the end to get refined products with the rich details that is in the DNA of the brand. And so I believe that we at the end get the best products, excellent products that could fit in any luxury home all over the world, production by Visionnaire and designed by Studio Marco Piva.
His design thinking perfectly fits into the theme that inspired our journey of today, linked to sustainability. For a long time, the architect Piva has been committed to environmental protection and the recovery of valuable and monumental structure. I see Eleanor and Leo already seated in the dedicated setting.
Okay.
This is a lounge, like
It's a small little lounge.
Yeah.
Very nice.
we could be everywhere
It's
in
true.
the world. And I think it's nice to make notice the fun pattern, an exclusive pattern that we design for this Adele armchair, very cocooning, very soft, and put in relation with the Admeto table. Do you want to introduce
Yeah,
it?
I see a very special leg. No, I think in the mind of the designer it was like a skyscraper with an external body in a very strong and precious material like the Dover white, and the internal in three-dimensional stainless steel, and surrounded by this nice round fumé glass top. But what I see here also very special is this Airone.
It's a novelty from Michele Astolfi. This is called Airone and is painted on satinized glass. And as you can notice, there is a sort of touch of the artist which has designed and has been inspired from the nature.
Wow, so very precious, really, and I like very much this new technique. So maybe Alice can help us with going through the details of these products. So please, contribution video from Alice. Thank you.
The metodo table is a triumph of purest shapes, composed of a single glass top embedded in 3 legs, almost monolithic, covered in marble on the 2 external sides, with an internal part made of 2 overlapped sheets of stainless steel that create the effect of a shiny stripes alternated to satin base of the lower sheet. Delle, or Adele, is an armchair with an amazing ergonomics that makes comfort its strongest point. Also thanks to the seat in polyether with different densities. Visually, it is as if the backrest was born from the body that embraces it, like a flower that blooms. The shell can have a different coating from the internal cushions, and in this case, with a fan pattern.
Well, so guys, hope you are not tired.
Tired, excited.
Okay, I can let you rest for a moment while we enjoy this last video dedicated to a quick overview of new others proposals, always belonging to the Beauty 2020 catalog. Let's discover them in this clip.
Aminta is a chair characterized by a fresh, light, and young design. A cockpit, as it contains back and armrests in a single curved solution, with a very thin metal frame that is embellished and made ergonomically comfortable by this element of dressing. Almost a coat, which is physically applied to the frame directly on the body. So you can actually unsheath it and wanting to use it, the chair, even without the lining, and obviously in this way, the chair will appeal much lighter. In this version, we have emphasized the game almost as a fashionable tailored clothing, with the choice of a fabric, such as this one, colorful and floral. Or you can choose to use one of the new upholsteries as iris or assam that have highly performing characteristics optimal for contract solutions. The bourbon bar cabinet, named in honor of the liquor, is particular because apart from the elliptical shape and this Mondrian matrix play of the various openings, is based on a highly distinctive design element, which is the external surface completely covered by a curved and digitally printed metal foil with a marble effect, which is more graphic game, but at the same time very interesting as it allows to create an unusual and unexpected object that, if really created in marble, it would have been of enormous weight and unjustified waste. Inside, it is characterized by an unusual and intriguing distribution. The internal part can be customized with a request for a minibar and internal accessories. All the openings are push-pulls, and when closed give a monolithic sensation that leaves the possibility of this fun game of volumes that allows fun openings. Kylo is the stool derived from the already known Kylo chair. In addition to having a particularly successful and functional design, the main feature is certainly represented by the upholstery material of the seat with which it's presented. Assam, a fabric obtained from the recycling of plastic recovered from the oceans, totally recyclable and fireproof. It was designed for offices and public places in order to give a feeling of relaxation while using it. Assam fabrics obtained through the combination of synthetic and natural fibers show cutting-edge performances, from the possibility of lowering body heat and therefore decreasing sweating and heart rate of the seated person to the absorption of humidity in the environment with the consequent reduction of the energy consumption due to the use of artificial air conditioning. This material is processed without chemicals toxic to health. Stancar is a family composed by sofa, armchair, rocking armchair, and a low table that has a dimension that is rich in size and comfort, but at the same time very light. Since the whole perimeter frame that generates this very sporty silhouette takes place through the waving of a rope in natural hemp enriched with lurex filaments. It is a rope with zero environmental impact since it is raw and not dyed, so it has great propensity towards environmental sustainability, but at the same time it adapts perfectly to outdoor use. It is combined with an internal cushion that has an ergonomic part padded with polyurethane suitable for outdoor use. The stainless steel elements immediately refer to Visionnaire brand without being intrusive. The low table sees an unprecedented choice of material for Visionnaire, since it is an oven enameled lava stone and the possibility of being exposed to the weather condition as it is treated in an extremely firm way. Here is the enlargement of the historical Dehors family Farnese, which sees the insertion of a day bed for relaxation, outdoor but not exposed to the weather conditions given the natural rattan structure, scenographic and suitable for outdoor and indoor environments, as often happens for Farnese armchairs widely used in indoors.
So we complete our journey into the 2020 novelties of today. But Eleanor, if you agreed, I want to introduce an architectural studio that has made experimentation with material and their contamination from stone to wood to textile a real feature in the residential, interior design, retail, fashion, and yachting sector. They are our third guest of today.
Yes, Paolo. With great pleasure, we present in this interview Marco Bonelli and Mariana Radovic, alias M2 Atelier. Direction start with the clip, please.
Hello. Hello, welcome to Visionnaire Atelier. So this is our world where we live, where we work, where everything happens here.
We are a design and architectural studio working in a different fields, from a residential to retail, doing a lot of boats. And here, as you can see, we are in our material world.
Materials are our alphabet. We use it every day within ourselves, with the team, and with the client. So we decided when we organized our office to put it very visible, so that not only us working every day, but also with our clients, we could share it and be inspired. In this chaos, apparent chaos, actually it's hidden a very good exercise of order.
We like what we do because we are trying different things. We surprise ourselves even with approaches to the same things that we were doing before differently. So this is what we also see in Visionnaire quite often and more every year with a new collection. So we believe that we don't have to be afraid of trying many things.
We have been following the brand Visionnaire for many years, I have to say. It's because, of course, international acclaimed and renowned, and of course, we are part of the design field. And we have been, with a lot of pleasure, being monitoring and being surprised about the horizontal approach that Visionnaire has been having through the years, in a similar way also to what we said before, and our approach to design and clients in a horizontal way, meaning being courageous, having a lot of curiosity, and not being stuck to one language. It's about many languages, let's say, but with the same DNA and always understandable.
Very similar to what we to our approach is that we always surprise people what we do, and the people that don't even know all the things that Visionnaire is able to do. So this is what happens often with our clients, with the people who we meet and who start to understand our world and what is happening behind the doors here. When it comes to nature and people who are close to nature, we can go also to our projects that we that we are dedicated a lot. It's like working on a sailing boat is obviously, it comes naturally that they are connected to the water, to the nature, and our approach of like dealing with those projects are very open. So we treat the exterior space and interior space completely the same way. They continue all the time. We are like, technology is helping, of course, to open the boundaries between interior and interior, indoor, outdoor, and materials that we use outdoor, they are also indoors, and you don't feel, you just, there is no limit when you're in and when you're out.
Attention to sustainability, meaning how can you be sustainable? In some projects you can be more of an approach. Sometimes, for instance, even when we work with natural stone or like leather, so we always find and select artisans and brands who have a really good attention to how they, where they get the stone, where they get their leather, how they treat, the animal, how they treat them. There is, of course, in the world, there are different approaches to nature, and we try to, to work with the best one in our judgment, of course, in our knowledge. So we, the certifications, we are very careful about certification. Our clients also are very careful. Some laws, but also some clients are more sensitive to certain aspects. So we try to, of course, always bring this into the conversation, trying to work with that as a design tool.
Very nice dog at the end. Okay, so it's good to have friends and fans of Visionnaire all around the world through the major interior design studios, and I thank them for this nice speech about us.
I think it's interesting to see their approach, which is very sartorial, and this is one of the points we have in common, no? The fact that they make not only the fact that they make research on materials, but also they have this one-of-a-kind approach to clients. So let's see what will happen.
So, as we announced at the beginning, the Visionnaire word is not only composed by design and creative part, but this dimension branches out in the international markets thanks to the system that acts as a relay and amplifies what the art of this reality in Bologna generates. Visionnaire parties around the world therefore deserve special attention. Yesterday we met the partners in Moscow, Hong Kong, Chengdu and Guangzhou. And today we are at the Visionnaire Istanbul. The floor then goes to Mr. Ahmet Kursun.
Hello everyone, this is Ahmet Kursun from Visionnaire Istanbul. As in the whole world, Turkey has got extraordinary times due to the COVID-19 outbreak. Istanbul, one of the most important cities of our country, was also one of the most affected cities in this sense. From 1st June, life began again and we continue where we left off. This new situation has caused changing commercial conditions in our market. People prefer to electronic commerce, advertising and promotional activities focused on social media. People's consumption behavior have changed, and we have to adapt our business according to current conditions and behaviors. People now have to live and spend more carefully. That's how they feel now. Now everyone knows that life is for everybody. We must live not only for humanity, but also for all creatures. We need to do more rational projects without harming nature. We must consume according to our needs. We need to be more sharing. Especially in this sense, the way states govern will change. The architects and clients we have been communicating with are moving with this awareness. They now prefer functional and earth-integrated living areas instead of very large and extreme residences. Of course, the pandemic will be brought under control after a while. Then it is very important how people behave. People have a poor memory. If they want to go back to the old days, the world will be unprotected again. Life will evolve into a new style if it draws the right conclusions. As long as brands like Visionnaire, which designs living spaces, care about it, they will have responded to demands quickly and in the right way. We are open to different cultures. We are pleased that Visionnaire Collection investors we have always been honored to represent have given importance to ecosystem-sensitive designs and materials, especially in recent years. We proudly promote and tell the Visionnaire Collection in our own market. Happily, customers and professionals appreciate Visionaire's responsive approach. We inform our customers not only in advertising, but also with Visionnaire ecosystem-sensitive news. We are confident that the 2020 Visionnaire Collection will deliver beautiful messages to the whole world in this sense. Life is beautiful and more enjoyable with Visionnaire. We love you all so much. We wish you a healthy and happy days. Take good care of yourself.
Good.
It was a very nice speech. Thank you, Ahmed. And we are all one, big community.
So, Leo, I remember that Visionnaire Istanbul was the protagonist of the Italian Flair initiative.
Yeah, I think Eleonora can talk about it.
Yes, it was an initiative designed to bring partners, architects, institutions together through the Made in Italy culture and lifestyle that we always promote.
The needs have now changed a bit. The contingency led to a rethinking of relationship with partners around the world and the projects that can be implemented with them. How are you moving today on this front, Leo?
Well, Paolo, we had to rethink the distribution strategies and the services that we could in some way activate together with our partners in order to continue to bring the Visionaire's product and culture all around the world. So we have created in the last 2 months during the lockdown a new service called Quick Ship. Quick Ship is available to all our retail network, which can view and draw from our stock all over the world stock in order to have all Visionnaire products ready to use immediately, which do not require the traditional processing and the customization times.
So this is a real revolution
It
for
is.
you, because I remember that you are used usually to making products on demand.
Absolutely. We always started as a real work in progress, on demand, espresso kind of production. But this is one of the consequences of the moment that we lived and we are living into. In these months, we have had a great demand for ready-to-go products, and the program is having an unexpected success. So we are thinking now to make to transform this from a temporary strategy to a definitive strategy by creating also a dedicated production line.
Wow, I think it's really amazing, and this kind of evolution can bring positive energy and vibes. It's a way to make the most of this situation and adapt to change. Let me then another of your partners who will be the protagonist of this program of distribution revolution. To you, in this interview, Mr. George Zhong of Domus area in Shanghai.
Wow.
Hello everybody, my name is George Chong and I'm the chairman of Fuorisalone, Shanghai, and we are the authorized dealer for Visionnaire in Shanghai. Visionnaire has always been my favorite brand because of its artistic design and impeccable workmanship on very exclusive materials. And this pandemic reminds us all of how fragile life is, and the lockdown in every country makes us realize how many things in life we have taken for granted. When the lockdown started, we, like many others, have taken many steps to literally try to reduce our costs as much as possible. We are extremely fortunate in China that the government have been able to contain the virus in less than 3 months, and things are virtually back to normal now. And I'm very heartened to see that Italy has lifted the lockdown and starting to resume work slowly. When I heard news that Leo is coming back to helm Visionnaire again, I was extremely delighted, for he actually is the founder and is also the spirit in every single piece of products, which is widely known in the high-end furniture industry. Not being disappointed, he implemented a series of reforms to have products more in line with the demand of the current consumers and, very importantly, at the correct price point. I strongly believe that with Leo setting the direction for Visionnaires, it will definitely soar to a new height. For companies which are inherently weak, they will be eliminated. And for those who are nimble, calm and resourceful, they shall prevail. Thank you.
Now, we are the one who are thanking George not only for the magnificent showroom that he dedicated to Visionnaire in Shanghai, in one of the historical malls of furniture, but also because of his incredible support that he gave to us since the beginning of the pandemic. You have to know, Paolo, when we faced for the first time this problem, we received in the company hundreds, thousands of masks offered by George and
Really?
Also by other partners, but in particular from George several times, and he also gave us a lot of advices as China, as you know, faced the problem much earlier than we did. So I'm very honored and proud to have the friendship and the loyalty of George, and so we thank George for what he's doing now.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can feel it that he's very proudly to be partner of Visionnaire. Shanghai is a city that has been a protagonist for a long time, not only with the monobrand, but also for the numerous participation of Visionnaire at events in the country.
It's true. With our partner, we will participate in the next November in the Shanghai design. For 4 years now, we have been exhibiting in the Salone del Mobile in Shanghai, and as we mentioned yesterday during the interview with our partner in Guangzhou and in the Far East in general, the Far East is a very important market for us, and here we found since the beginning an audience able to understand and to appreciate the qualities of our brand.
Good. It fits then the intervention of the next partner, which will be certainly confirm this trend. Speaking directly from Visionnaire Ho Chi Minh, Mrs. Michelle Tran Truong.
Wow.
It's quite good right now because the pandemic situation is well controlled in Vietnam at the moment. People have returned to work, but only reached like 50 to 70% at the normal life before. The COVID affected a lot to our market due to the declining shopping demand. The hotel could not reopen normally until now. A lot of restaurants and shops had to close or bankrupt because people changed their lifestyle. They prefer to cook at home and more likely to stay at home, and only by the necessity because of the unemployment or the decrease in salary. People don't go out as usual. The customer shopping habit had changed a little bit. They think carefully and take a long time to decide to buy an item. They will check the product on the websites and receive our promotion by private message, email, and then they make an appointment to visit the showroom to see the product. Most projects have to delay and extend handover time, so it affects the interior delivery time. Customers postpone their individual budgets, waiting for their business situation and income, or wait for the life stability and ask for the biggest discount ever. I think that in the future, customers still need to see the upcoming situation because there is currently no solution, so they need to think and decide their own reasonable spending. High standard of well-being in Vietnam private home will be directly effective from the main business, of course. If one economy grows, they will have enough wealth to change their lifestyle or their private home easily. Therefore, the more government decision for the economy is better, the more economy will be grown. The more economy grows, the more people could be able to afford the high-end living standard for sure. Vietnam is one of the countries having well-response plan for this COVID-19 pandemic that own economics could be able to run well again earlier than the other country. Therefore, in the near future, well attention of how government respond to the global economic effectiveness to Vietnam is the most important thing. Depend on that one's economy will be grown or less, the more it grow, the more living standard will be changed. Otherwise, they won't think for changing their high-end lifestyle. Because of some news changing in society during the pandemic, so the idea of wellness changing today is we should focus more on functions, material of the upholstery products such as the antimicrobial fabrics, detachable covers for washing, termites the protection lines, material that easy to clean, resistant to temperatures, and material safe for health to the extent permitted.
Eleanor, the showroom, it's very beautiful. So I remember in 2015, you opened the showroom, right?
Right,
Yeah.
you're right, Paolo. And the Mono brand is located inside the Times Square Tower, the building that houses the prestigious Reverie Saigon Hotel, the only 6-star hotel in Vietnam.
This is also worthy to mention that in this nice building, Visionnaire has also designed the Café Cardinal on the 6th floor, the bar lounge, and two of the most luxurious suites inside the hotel. And the partner is really not only prestigious, but one of the most influencer developer in the Vietnam, in all the Vietnam territory.
Yeah, I see. I think we are almost at the end of the episode. So it has been a really rich day talking about products, but also about sustainability and aesthetic innovation together. We remember them with architects Marco Piva and Mauro Lipparini with its wonderful and huge collection, and a wider range of experimentation and research on material thanks to M2 Atelier. So we met visionary representatives around the world, passing through Istanbul, Shanghai, and Ho Chi Minh at least. Tomorrow we arrive at the third and final episode awaits for us. So stay tuned as we are at the same place here in Piazza Cavour, Milano, and do not miss these next exclusive contents and few surprises from all of us.
Thank you, Paolo.
Thank you, and
for
see you
joining
tomorrow.
us. See you
Evviva.
tomorrow. Ciao.
Sigla.